For today, we're going to focus on the toes. They are so important, right? I mentioned it's the head, it's the throat, and that lymphatic system that protects us. And so what I want you to focus on is what foot feels a little bit colder than the other, and write it down. And now a very simple technique you're going to use with your thumb is you're going to do like almost like a wiggling walking motion along the toes. So you're going to start from the base, right? And you're going to use the index finger, so you point your finger, as leverage, right? So you leverage the toe and you basically push your thumb into every little spot of every single toe, starting from the base of the toe though. Don't miss that joint, because that's, again, that lymphatic system, the throat. And so what I want you to do is now go up, just to keep it simple, in a line, in a really straight line, as if you want to create different zones on those, yes, on those toes, even on the fingers. If you do it on your fingers, it's the same idea. So I'm going to still use my index finger as leverage, and I'm basically moving up my finger. And I'm almost squeezing it and feeling if there's something that I can feel underneath my thumb. Do you feel a little bit of goop? Do you feel a little bit of hardness? Maybe you feel, wow, something is moving under there. What could that be? Well, if it is something along those lines, what I want you to do is go back and work that area. I am willing to bet that that area, wherever you feel some kind of calcification or sediment underneath your thumb, underneath your fingers as you're massaging, is the area that's also cold or cooler than the other parts of your toes or your foot, for example. And so what you want to do is you want to work that out. Just work it out. And don't worry if you, in reflexology, this is the beautiful thing, is that you really can't do anything wrong. There are no really contraindications or anything that could go wrong by doing this type of work. It's so non-invasive. It's so gentle, yet so effective. So I just want you to keep that in mind as well, that nothing can go wrong. And so as you're working your toes, pay attention to what the coloring, how it's changing, what the temperature is, how it changes as you work your toes. If you're experiencing, let's say, a headache or a migraine, I want you to pay close attention to the webbing of your toes. And what you can actually do in that part of the foot is just gently squeeze it and hold it for 5 seconds. And just do it as much as your body can bear. It doesn't have to be totally unbearable, but you want to feel that there is something that you are activating in those spots. And you're going to do it for every single, in between every single toe on both sides on both feet. And that gives an instant rush of energy and circulation to the back of your neck and to your this upper thoracic area. What that does is it relieves some of the pressure from your head. And so if that gave you a bit of relief, and if it also changed the temperature of your toes, which it should, if you do it 2 to 3 times on both feet, you should feel already a difference in your head, but also in the temperature of your toes. That gives you an indication right away that circulation has been restored. Cool. And so keep doing that. And you can do it also on your hand. It's the same.
Do you recommend using some kind of oils, like essential oils or any kind of oil along with it, so you're not just getting the benefit of the manipulation and touching those points, but
Absolutely.
So which kind of ones would you recommend that people can get that are easy, that you know have been real effective?
So my favorite, which I've been using since the day I started helping myself, treating myself, but also treating others, is castor oil. And there is, studies from many, many years ago written by Edward Case, for example, that you can read how he used castor oil as his remedy for almost anything. I recommend that you do a little bit of research on him and just read how he used such a simple oil, but such an incredibly effective oil to help his patients. And that is what I have always used. And I just find that the viscosity of the oil and the way it feels on my hands when I massage other people, there's something so special about castor oil, and I'm drawn to it. And so I've tried to use other oils. If you don't have castor oil right now, you can also, an alternative would be, almond oil, jojoba oil. So in some cases where I've been in situations where I wanted to help somebody immediately and there was nothing else but olive oil from the kitchen, we used some olive oil. It doesn't matter.
Right.
We've got to make do with what we have. It's not, when you have your own two hands, this is where the magic happens, is the energy that you put into the work that you're doing. The oil just helps along. Of course, it adds that extra element of healing, but if you're in a situation that you don't have it and you can't get it, it's okay. You can use the olive oil even from the kitchen. It's not a big deal.
It's great. Cool. I was just thinking while you were talking about, like, it's a bonding experience. Like, you're teaching us how we can give ourselves self-help and love. But you can also recruit, like, your partner and your friend to come in, share the experience with. You sit, you kind of chat and get caught up on all the gossip of the neighborhood while they're working your feet. They get to learn something. You share those energies. And I love castor oil. Well, basically, if you can get the organic form of anyone, like the castor oil, then you're going to get something that's more pure and also have a higher vibration, which is going to work with your body a little bit better. So if you have the ability and the financial whereabouts to get organic oils in this reference, that would be preferable. And then using that oil, using your own techniques and or teaching your partner, like, how to help you. And I mean, I've been massaging Melody's feet, my wife's, for 40 years,
Wow.
So we just do it. That's our routine every night. And so I calm her down. We have busy days and full days. And it's not like she's standing on her feet all day, but just working the zones of her feet, really kind of calm her down. It moves her from an anxious or sympathetic state to parasympathetic. It gets her ready for bed. It gets her mind in a different zone completely. And, these are things that we can all do. They just take minutes, and it will shift your whole health experience to bring it to a much, much higher level.